Every day, someone in our community is facing a challenge they shouldn't have to face alone. Your business can change that. When you join the Community Pay It Forward family, your kindness becomes action, and your sales becomes hope. For as little as $20 a month, you help guide families, nonprofits, and neighbors from crisis to stability. One small step, one powerful mission, one community coming together. Join the family today. Visit the website or scan the code and become a business where people can shop with purpose and support with heart.
Hey friends, I've been thinking, we all have our strengths, right? There are things I'm great at and things I'm definitely not great at. I can talk to anyone, anywhere, but ask me to add something to a website or an app. Yeah, that's where things get a little messy. Oops, I love speaking, I love sharing stories. But social media, all those hashtags, algorithms, trends, that's a jungle I still haven't mapped out. Now, coming up with ideas that bring people together, that's my sweet spot. But bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I have agreed to stay in separate corners. And you know what? That's okay, because someone out there is good at those things. And when we work together, that's when the magic happens. Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every single one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us strong on our own. But imagine how powerful we become when we combine them. That's the heart of Community Pay It Forward. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working side by side to make a real difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's discover it together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.
Warning, the brown cloud is approaching. Some will try to outrun it. Others may not be so lucky. But don't worry, it's all part of the fun at the Chili Cookoff for books and board games. Where the chili is hot, the flavors are bold. And Bear E has your back with the official Brown Cloud Preparedness Kit. Follow the plan, know your exits, and whatever you do, hold your breath, because this temporary pain is all for a great cause. Join us, laugh with us, survive the Brown Cloud, together at Key Largo Lounge in Greeley.
Join us November 8th at 11 a.m. for the 10th annual Chili Cookoff for books and board games at our home field, Key Largo Lounge, where our small market team is making a huge statement. Scan the code for tickets and sponsorship information. Hey, good morning, everyone. How you doing today? My name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, the Come Together Compass Pack Podcasting Networks. Welcome to Footprints Forward. Well, it's a brand new week and a brand new chance to lift each other up. And we have a lot to do today, and I need your help to do it. So do me a favor. Grab yourself your coffee. In my case, I got my soda. And let's start this morning with purpose and heart, okay? Before we jump into today's conversation, I want to remind you of a couple important uh, things that are coming up. The Come Together Compass. Okay, the Come Together Compass is something that it, we talk about it a lot. We talk about it a lot, and that's because of its potential. It has the potential to be the most important program ever, quite honestly. It has the potential to help everyone. It's growing every single day because of people just like you. And you can support and you can join the partnership today and help us out by simply making a donation using the QR code above. But you don't want to make a financial donation? How about this? Simply shop with any of our giving partners. Scan this code, apply the receipt where it asks you to, and send it to us. Those wonderful partners, those wonderful giving partners, are going to give us a portion back that's going to go towards the Come Together Compass. Help us build it, help us get it out there, help myself and the wonderful students at Arizona State University make this what it should be. Look, when you join, you're not just donating. You're becoming part of a mission that says no one ever needs to go it alone when we all come together. This is a chance for you to support families, veterans, seniors, anyone who needs legitimate help. This is a way that we can be there for them. Speaking of coming together, coming up, and it's coming up quicker than I realize, because I got my personal countdown right there. The thing that says 58 days. That's 58 days till the hockey starts. Okay, the first game of the NHL for my New Jersey Devils. So if anybody's wondering what that is, there's 58 days till New Jersey takes on Philadelphia, the most important day this year. Except for, of course, my wife's birthday and our anniversary. Okay, it's within the top 10 of my most important days this year. My son's birthdays, my daughter's birthdays, grandkids' 20th day. All right, it's the 20th most important day. God, don't get technical with me. It's early in the morning. Sorry. But speaking of coming together, it's almost time for the Chili Cookoff, November 8th. This is one of my favorite events of the year. It's fun. It is messy. It's loud. And it's full of people who care. Whether you make the best chili in the world or you burn water, we want you there. Bring your recipe, bring your smile, and bring your appetite. It's going to be a great day of community and connection. All of the information is available online on communitypayitforward.us. Just type in Chili Cookoff and you can go right to the form. You can fill it out. It's $10 unless you bring a new book or board game for children in Northern Colorado hospitals. Then your ticket for all you can eat is $5. If you want to enter a chili, it's $25. Now, well, I'm nowhere near Greeley. I live in Alabama. How about starting a book collection for your hospital? Want a little bit of help with advertising on it? Want to become part of the book collection for the Come Together Cub Club? Get with me and we can make that happen. The easiest way to get a hold of me is through my For My card, which is up here in this corner. That is my digital business card. It is the best way, the absolute best way to find out how to connect with me. So, one of the other things that you saw, which is very, very important, is you saw that you now, business people, can join the Community Pay It Forward family for $20 a month. Advertising is expensive. Advertising is a pain in the ass. Quite frankly, advertising just sucks. There's no way about it. We don't claim to advertise. We want to tell your story. We want people to know who you are, why you do what you do, and how to make everything better by doing their service with you. We turn a referral into at least 70% of that referral. So say you give us $10, at least seven of those $10 is going to be going for a donation. $20 a month, you can make your sales allow people to shop with heart and be that pillar of the community we're all looking to be. Today's show special, we are welcoming a brand new giving partner, someone who's fits perfectly with the mission of compassion and storytelling. You met her last week during What You Got, and you heard a little bit about the incredible service she provides. As I said in the interview, what she's doing is something that truly was not available to us years ago without carrying the giant movie theater camera on our shoulders. Her name is Hannah Moskowitz, founder of Legacy Lens USA, and she's doing something beautiful. She sits with people who are nearing the end of their lives or just want to be prepared for when that time comes. And she records their stories, their memories, their apologies, their laughter, their love. She preserves history before it disappears. She gives families something they can hold on to forever. As she says, my goal is to preserve as much memory as I can before it's gone. It's a beautiful interview, and I really think you're going to enjoy it. Hannah's a wonderful person. I definitely ask you to get a hold of her. After we talk with Hannah, we move on to one of my favorite segments, and that is Celebration of the Spirit. August is filled with traditions, faith, cultures, and moments of joy. And this month, moments of awakening, moments of remembrance. It was actually really ironic. Last night, Adrian and I sat down and we watched something about 9/11, and it has a huge tie into what's coming up this month. I can't watch firefighters or police officers talk about 911 without my eyes filling with tears. Every sunrise gives us a chance to learn something new about each other, and learning about how we celebrate is one of the best ways we can learn about each other. Today, we honor the community by learning what they celebrate and why it matters. We don't get mad. We educate. We listen. We grow. We celebrate each other. And if you have anything that you would like to say, reach out to me or put it in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're being part of somebody's solution. If we missed a holiday, if we missed something that you and your culture celebrates, please let us know. We want to know about it. If you are celebrating any of the things that we're talking about, please list them in the comments. That way people can come and celebrate with you. If they're virtual, please get a hold of me so I can take part in your celebration. I want to learn about your cultures. And I can't be more serious about that. So let's get started today, folks. Let's welcome Hannah. Let's celebrate the Spirit. And let's make today where we learn something about new. Let me try this again. I'm very sorry about that. Let's make today a day where we learn something new about someone else. Wow. Introduction to her on Thursday of last week. And during our What You Got segments, we were able to tell you a little bit about the services she provides. And was joking about how we took and what she's doing now was something that just truly wasn't available to us a long time ago without having like the giant movie theater type cameras that are on your shoulder. And, I'm an old guy though, so we used to have to carry those around. But I'm being joined by our brand new giving partner. You can find her page by scanning the QR code right above her head. It's Hannah Moskowitz of Legacy Lens USA. Hello, Hannah.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great, doing great. Welcome to the family. I greatly appreciate you joining us, and I greatly appreciate you seeing what we're doing as something that's going to not only benefit you, but also benefit, what you're doing and help you move yourself along.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time out to interview me. It's
Well,
weird because I'm usually on the other side of the camera.
yeah. And yeah, so you're probably going to sit there and go, "Oh man, I hope that this isn't what I sound like all the time with me," as the one asking the question. So hopefully I don't do that bad of a job. But Hannah, tell us a little bit about Legacy Lens, and first off, tell us on what's the concept behind it, because I personally I love what you're doing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, why did Legacy Lens become Legacy Lens? I love history, and I think there are a lot of people that are they're very lonely, and they die, and we never get to hear their stories, and we never get to learn from them. And so that's kind of what I do, is I sit down and I interview people. Usually they're pretty sick when they meet me, so it's very common. I'll sit down with someone who's terminal, and we have a conversation. I use audio and video equipment, and I want to capture as much of them as possible for their family. It could be their kids, their grandkids, even their friends. It could be anything. I'm under NDA, so it's not like for a hospital, it's not a public thing. It's primarily meant for people that they love, people that are close to them. I want to heal things, and I want to try to make life better. Sometimes when people are towards the end of their life or when they're older, sometimes they feel differently about problems. And so this is that last moment where they can kind of fix things or kind of make apologies or kind of heal people. And I try my best to promote kindness and compassion, and also fill in family gaps, because there are a lot of people and they don't know what their parents have been doing, or they don't know a lot about when their parents were younger. And so it's very fun for me to learn. And I have the honor and privilege of interviewing many different types of people, from wives and husbands to, veterans. And hopefully within the next 2 to 3 years, I'm going to start I want to start to interview young kids that are terminally sick. So my goal is to preserve as much memory as I can before it's gone.
I love that you brought up the kids already, because I know that this is something that's a little that is a little sensitive with certain people. But me being a parent, okay, and I hate the thought of this, but I videotape my boys as much as possible. We record each other as much as possible, so we have it. I got one son who's in Japan who videotapes himself, and I've got a file folder full of them, just because when I miss him, I can go and I can watch him. Plus, he does the whole professional wrestling thing, so I can take and pull it up and watch it and get to have fun doing it that way. But my other son, we take and we watch. We go to concerts and games and stuff together, and we're able to do that. He's in your area. He's down in Westminster, so the Westminster area. But you are wanting to do this, and I love the fact that it's about the history. And I told a story on Thursday, last Thursday, when we did your What You Got, and it was a story about how I did an interview for my with my grandfather when I was in school. Okay, and this was way back in like 1983, so it was a day or two ago. Um, and I went and I talked to my grandfather, and I talked to him as a school assignment. And I didn't really take in all the information that he
Yeah.
was giving me. And it's something that now, 40 years later, I I kick myself in the teeth every day because I didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
You are making it to where that is no longer that's no longer something that people have to do. This is something that people can go back and listen to this and watch this and learn. Because my father told me, I don't think you understand how unique of an exercise this was, because my dad did not talk about his wartime. My grandpa never told my dad anything about his service. So for him to talk to
Common.
me, it was something very special. And I
Very
treated
common,
it like,
sadly.
yeah, yeah, I treated it like a school assignment, which is just terrible. You, that's exactly what you were just saying.
Yeah. So I've spoken to a few veterans. Um, because I'm an outside party, sometimes it's easier for them to talk to me versus feeling judgment from family members, especially when it's themes of war, because you have themes that are controversial, also themes that are of death, and they can be quite heavy. And
Hmm.
sometimes they don't want it to change their kids and how they view them as, because they're still alive and they're together and they're doing things. And so when they have someone like me, who is A, open minded, but B, has been doing this for a while, I try my best to be as supportive as I can be to let them say what they need to say. It's very therapeutic, I think. On a personal note, my my uncle Peter. I lived with him on and off growing up, and so we were very very close. And he was a veteran, and this man was my hero. I
Hmm.
loved him. I mean, he is my hero. I still love him, and I think I got most of my values from him. He replaced my father for me, and so the idea of harder moments don't scare me, because I kind of grew up understanding that life is complicated. And so sometimes having someone that is a bit more open-minded, that isn't, they don't see them every day, it makes it a little easier to talk about those stories that they've been holding on to for 20 or 30 years. I've been lucky where I've gotten some incredible stories, but I've also gotten some pretty painful ones too. So,
This also gives individuals a chance to, for lack of better terminology, get it off their chest before they leave, so they can, and you made mention to this earlier. This gives them a chance to tell people stuff that they didn't particularly know. This is the reason I was like this. This is what happened to me when I was a kid. This was something that I suffered with during, and it's been a trauma my entire life. Or this is
yeah.
something that happened to me that was a great thing, that was hilarious, and this is the reason why every time you said something about it, I started laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. This gives people a chance to really just take an offload and make sure that everybody understands who they are, were, and will be from this point on.
Yeah. It gives them the opportunity to share their life and their stories. Sadly, I find that people are very lonely. And so some people have these amazing stories. I mean, it's almost mythical. People have, they say things, it's like, that can't be real. And then you go and you sit down, you do a little homework, and it's like, oh, wow, no, that happened. And so you're letting someone expand. They're telling these stories, and who hears these people? At 80, 90, however old they are, sometimes they feel very forgotten. And so I'm kind of allowing them that space to talk about their stories. And hopefully we get to learn from them in the future.
I think I told you that, my wife does a really, really good job of listening. She does a better job than I do of listening to my mom. We take care of my elderly parents, and my wife does a better job of listening to like our family history than I do. I kind of figure I've lived our family history for but Adrian will actually sit down and listen to my mom every once in a while.
Oh, just once in a blue moon.
I haven't listened to her for 55 years. Why start now? Haha, ta ta ta. Sorry. But so there's not a lot that you can think that there's not a lot that she can say that's going to surprise us. That's not true, is it?
No. Everyone has a story. Everyone has something to say. And you don't have to be a senior. You don't have to be in your 80s and 90s. That's why I brought up kids. Because at 13, 14, 15, and 16, they're terminal and they know they're sick. People don't treat them like they understand, but as they go through chemo and dialysis, they're not ignorant. They're fully aware that they're sick. And so there are many ways to tell a story, and there are many people who need to be heard, and people just don't hear. They don't care, or they just don't take the time to understand and to meet somewhere where they're at, because sometimes people will bring their own prejudice with them, and I try my best to remove my own, and so I never break an interview. People could say anything, and I can edit later if it's needed, and I have. But I'd never break an interview. I feel that it's very important for me, because whatever my opinion is, it's not about me, it's about them. It's about their interview and their story and their life. And so it doesn't matter whether you're 13, 14, 16, 83. I just interviewed a 92-year-old literally today. And so it doesn't matter. Everyone deserves to be heard. And I am honored when I get to hear those stories.
I think one of the greatest things that you're offering, and this desire to move, into the very, very difficult realm of videotaping sick kids is, look, people who lose their children, they're doing anything to try to remember that child while they were still alive. So this gives them a chance to look back at not a memory, but a physical child, and remember that this child wasn't always sick. Because, the one thing that you're going to talk about is, oh my God, what happened to your kid? Why is your kid not here? Like I said, I talked to John one of my very best friends in the world, and he says, Zach, I hate telling Bladen's story, because that's all anybody ever wants to hear about is Bladen's story. And he said they don't want to hear about him.
That's totally different. Totally different thing.
Yeah. And so this is an opportunity that John could take. And if this would have been around for him, he and Bladen, this would have been a chance that he could sit there and John posts pictures of Bladen all the time. When I interview John, he talks about when Bladen was, before Bladen tragically lost his life, he climbed up on John's motorcycle and started hitting the ignition on his motorcycle because he wanted to go for a ride. It's one of the funniest stories. It is so funny. I ended up crying my eyes out when he told that story, not because I was sad, but because I was laughing so hard I could sit there and watch John trying to eat a sandwich and spitting up bread, trying to get out to his motorcycle that's about ready to start. So, but I mean, these are stories that people, they may see this as something that it's not, because it's just beautiful, because you want to remember when things were good before things were no longer. So,
well, that's how I do my children interviews. I don't interview young kids. I won't interview someone that's like, 4 or 5, 6. I won't do that. But at 13, 14, 15, 16, they have good memories. They have a life that, hopefully was outside of just being sick. And so they have these beautiful memories that sometimes I kind of hopefully will get to, I want those. I want to know those. I want to record those. I want to give them back to their family because it could be comforting for them, I think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the goal. So I want to get all of those memories, but also I want to do the goodbyes also. Because that's not something you'll find on Instagram. That's not something that you're going to find on, what are kids on now? Snapchat? I don't know.
Oh, hell, I don't know.
No, it's private. And so
Yeah.
it's their final conversation with their parents, right? It's the, I love you. By the time you get this, I'm not going to be here, but I need you to know this. And it's to their friends, it's to their parents, to their brothers or sisters. I just feel that it's so important.
And see, I think one of the other reasons why this is important, because it's also guided, gently guided, but it's guided to where somebody's not just on there trying to make up a bunch of stuff and they're uneasy because they don't know exactly where they're going to go from this. They've got you to help them navigate this to where it's fluent and it's fluid and it's moving all in one program. It's not just somebody sitting there doing the old and ah and ooh, doing all this stuff, long blank pauses, and this is something that you were there trying to help them to navigate that story.
Yeah, it can be tough. Sometimes they get stuck. And if that's the case, and I find this a lot also, not just, obviously with kids, but with seniors, which is they'll get fixated in a space or they'll get stuck in a space. So you can just redirect. And so I'm very lucky. Just generally speaking, I'll let someone talk for a very long time. That's usually gold. Usually the more people speak, the more stories you get and the better it is. However, there are those moments where people kind of, maybe they get stuck in their prejudices or they get stuck in their anger. It could be a numerous different, it could be anything. And it's about redirection. And so it's not saying your opinions aren't valid, because they are, but it's saying you're in this space of anger and hate and we need to move past this space into this is your goodbye, or this is, your story time, or whatever it is that's going on. So I try to move away from anger and hate and move it into a better space because I don't want to pass that on. I will if it's important for someone. If there's something that they feel they need to say, I'll never stop them. But if I can redirect a conversation into a better space, I will. But also it's about what questions you're asking. So if you're starting out a conversation or an interview and you ask a question in a very specific way, there are times when it will be received not the way it's intended. It'll be received in a negative light, or it'll have it just won't come off right. It'll be, something will feel wrong. And so it's about redirection, making changes that are needed. So that way you can get the best information you can, or the most information as accurately and kindly as possible. And so later in the interview, usually, 20, 30 minutes later, you can kind of ask the exact same question, you just change your wording a little. You know what I mean? Like, there are ways to find out the same thing. You just change the way you speak. You change the way you're acting. And oftentimes, I find I can get the exact same information, or the information that's needed. So in my experience, it's about what questions you're asking, and it's about being able to redirect a conversation away from a heavier or negative space into a better mentality. And then it is more useful for the future. Because you want to leave people not feeling, the nature of the video is heavy, but there are times when you can take pain, and you can use pain to open a conversation, or you can use pain to cause more pain. My job is not I want to use it to open up a conversation. I want it to be helpful to the future and to the people they love, not to cause more pain. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, actually it makes complete sense, because the last thing the last thing, and especially right now with the place that we're in society today, there are a lot of families who are no longer talking to each other. the last thing in the world, that somebody wants to do is, God forbid, have their parent die, and the first thing that they say on the video is, well, we haven't talked for 6.5 years because of
Oh.
the way that you voted, and
Ugh,
that's not exactly what you want to do.
no.
But now comes the time of the interview where we get a little heavy because you've got a heartbreaking story on why you started this. I think it's very important that you let people know why you started this, because it'll really tell them what your purpose is.
Okay. Well, I have two stories. I have two reasons why I started. I lost a partner, and that was a big part of it. And I didn't have anything that was his. Nothing really replaces the sound of their voice. And I used to listen to his voicemail over and over. And then one day that was gone. And so that was a big catalyst. And then another catalyst was I sat down and I interviewed my friend's grandfather. And it was amazing. It was the best. It was a mistake. I mean, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't planned. That's better. It wasn't planned. We were just sitting outside on his veranda. He was, an older gentleman. He was in his 80s. And I don't know why. I had a cell phone in my pocket. I took out my phone and I just started to ask questions. And to this day, I don't know why I did it. And it was beautiful. So he was with his wife for over 50 years. And he talked about when he first met his wife, their very first date. He's all these little details that nobody in his family knew about. Apparently he took the ferry to go and see her, and he was talking about how nervous he was and all these little details. It was beautiful, and I got it on camera, and it was amazing. And I saved the video. I don't know why I don't know why, but I did. And then sadly, a few years later, he passed away. And I still had this video, and it was beautiful. And so I was looking at it, and I rewatched it, and I said, I could do something with this. And I know it was on a cell phone, but I tried to edit it to the best of my abilities. And then after the funeral, I gave it to his family, who all burst into tears immediately. Everyone started crying. And then it was just like lightning. It was like, oh, this has meaning now. This has value now. It changed everything.
See, that story right there is one of the reasons why this is such a beautiful concept.
Thank you.
Is because of that, maybe you've heard it 10, 15, 20 times about, the time that grandma met grandpa, but maybe you don't remember everything. And maybe you just kind of fluffed off or picked up your phone and missed that detail. And this gives you something to make sure that you have that memory, because you're always going to have a memory of them anyway. But isn't it nice that you're going to have a memory that, you can watch over and over again? And I really do. I love the concept of what you're doing. And, the truth is that I've got in my phone right now, I told you that earlier, I lost my Uncle Barry, and he, I told you right here, she's gonna pop up.
Aw. Hi. Oh, that's a very cute doggo.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny. I've still got a recording of one of our conversations.
That's beautiful.
And I listen to it because, I miss the guy. I miss the guy. I miss him every day. He's one of my heroes. I went back through his Facebook page and I picked up all of his old profile pictures and stuff like that, because those are, they're going to be around of me and my uncle. And that is one of the reasons why when you were telling me what you were doing and when we were introduced, and I found out this is just such a great idea. And yeah, there's heaviness in it, but you know what? there's memory in it, there's history in it, and there's a story in it. And that is the reason why you said it best. You can just let people talk, and that's gold. And that's the reason why we tell people to never shut up. Continue to tell your story, because your story is going to change someone's life. You never know what you are going to say, even after you're gone, that's going to change a loved one's life. Maybe they're going to see something different in the way that, the way that things are. Maybe they're going to learn something that is going to help them make sense out of something they've struggled with.
Sometimes it's just very comforting too. Like I
Yeah.
know that my uncle Peter, he was a veteran and he wasn't he loved me. He loved me very much, but he was kind of a strict man, kind of like he was very he was a farmer and a foreman. So if you understand the type, they don't really say much, and they usually look kind of mean and scary. Mine did, but if you knew him, he was wonderful. He was just he didn't converse easily, and so he was a bigger man. He had his overalls. He didn't really smile much. It wasn't his thing. And so I try my best to remember everything that he kind of has told me over the years. And it wasn't like it is today, where now you have Instagram and you have like all these things that are available to you. He didn't have any of that. He didn't care. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
No. And so I have one video of him, and it's technically broken up into two. It's 5 seconds and 5 seconds. And he doesn't say anything important. He says, we're outside, he's on his farm, and he's a foreman, and he turns to one of the horses and he says, do you see what I have to deal with? Do you see what I have to put up with every day? And then the video cuts off. And he's laughing and smiling, and the horse is looking at him like he understands it, which he doesn't. And it's just like a moment. It's a very authentic, ridiculous moment. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and like I said, I think that's one of the reasons why what you're doing is so invaluable, because of that. These individuals are going to say something that means absolutely nothing to you, because you're there as a director, as a producer, in a way, as a you're there to help guide them through this journey. But they're going to say something that, they might start to chuckle or something like that, and you're kind of like going, huh? But
Yeah.
everyone they're talking to is going to know exactly what they're saying, and that's what's going to make a difference. And like I said, I mean, there are certain things that I'm pretty sure that if we get my dad on camera in 20 years before, after he's gone, he's going to say something that's just going to make us all laugh, because it's so dad,
Yeah.
and it's better than just having a verbal story. It's having a real reminder
Yeah. And
of
sometimes
the
it doesn't
person.
even, you don't know what's going to cause it either. Like, you don't know what the catalyst is to that moment of memory. Like, for some people,
Yeah.
for me, it was that moment of being in a farm in an environment that I was comfortable with. I've interviewed people, well, I'm hoping to, but this woman's a cook and she's incredible. And that's what does it for her family. Do you know what I mean? Is
Yeah.
this woman cooking. And so, I have all my equipment, which is movable, and go and cook on camera. Like, it's great, laughing and joking and just being very present on film. So, yeah.
Well,
If you can grab that memory, grab it.
that's exactly what this is you know what, you never know what's going to cause a memory. Okay, you never know. And what you're offering is a chance to not just grab that memory, but maybe even relive that memory.
Yeah.
Living in the home that I've lived in, that my family's been in for almost 75 years, there are certain things that this house does. There
Yeah.
are certain smells that happen. There's certain things that happen that you're like, oh my God, this house has smelled like that for the entire 55 years of my life. And it's funny how that happens. And it's comforting. And it makes you, it brings a happy tear to your eye. or
Yeah.
it'll make it to where I can remember my grandfather saying stuff about like Greeley water or something like that. I can remember all this stuff, and now that I'm the one doing that, I'm like going Greeley water, doing the same thing, and I'm like, oh my god, I look like my grandfather. But Hannah, was there anything else that you wanted to make sure that people understood?
If you have the opportunity to sit down and talk with a loved one, you should do it before they're gone.
Yes.
Yeah, to put your prejudices aside and your anger aside. I always tell people that once someone's gone, I've had a lot of regret in my voicemails, my messages, my interviews, and so if you can kind of have that moment where you put your anger aside and just be straight with somebody, if you can do that, I would recommend you do that because it changes how you view them after they're gone. So sometimes conversations are uncomfortable, but I do tell people that being uncomfortable won't kill you. It's only temporary. Being uncomfortable, it'll last for what, an hour or two, maybe three, and then you'll move past it and you'll get more information and you'll learn about someone that you once loved. And so even if it is uncomfortable, I don't think you're going to regret trying. So try.
Saying sorry to somebody who's no longer here doesn't have near the effect of saying sorry to someone who can understand that you truly are sorry. And that's one of
Yeah.
the reasons why we always try to tell people, stop leaving conversations in a bad place.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that
You
you
just have to
don't.
put it to the side because everyone lives and
Yeah.
everybody dies. And I mean, people have big egos. I think that's a big part of it. They hold on to things and it's not necessary. Especially these days, it tends to be political or religious. And the
Yeah.
reality is there is no answer. Now, you can be Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Hindi, Buddhist, whatever, and I will respect every religion and culture as if it were my own. And I mean that deeply. I respect every culture. But when someone's dying and they believe something that's different than you, let them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to agree with everything that they say. But you meet someone where they're at because they're dying. You have to, if you
Yep.
want to understand someone, don't go into a conversation thinking I'm right and you're wrong. You're not going to get anywhere. If you go into that conversation and you want to understand and you want to actually meet them in that space that's open, you can't go into it entitled. You have to go into it understanding that you have to be just like open to understanding where they're coming from, even if you don't agree. Yeah, I guess that's kind of my message is trying your
Yeah.
best to be that way and open to, yeah.
I don't think there's a better message to leave it on. I really don't, because that's a message that we talk about all the time. Like I said, it's is are these arguments worth worth knowing that that's the last conversation you ever had with somebody? Are they that important? And the answer is no. The answer is no. There's really not. I mean, look, let's be honest. Politics is like sports, okay? Because the truth is that what? I hate a team, you love a team. That doesn't mean anything. It means that I love a team, you hate a team, whatever. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. Nobody's ever going to be right in politics. Nobody's ever going to be right in religion. There is no right. There is no wrong. There's only who we are, how we feel,
Yeah.
and there's only that's just it. It doesn't make us bad people. It makes us
No.
different, and
Yes.
difference is what makes this world go round. So,
Yeah,
Hannah,
I
how?
like a little spice in my life. I don't know about you, but it'd be so boring if we were all the same. I
Oh
like
my
that
God.
people are different.
Hannah, I tell people every day that if you are just like me, I'm not going to get along with you very well. I know about me. I know who I am. I need you to be you so I can learn from you, so I can converse with you, so we can have these conversations. I need to learn something new. If I was just talking about stuff that I thought I knew, it would be a very boring conversation, you know, and I'd sound like a smart ass 16-year-old. So, when I did know everything.
You just reminded me of a story about a gentleman who was, as it turns out, in the CIA, which is wild. But he never told his family because there was that 30-year. Who told me about that? There was like this 30-year ban where you're not allowed to talk about your projects until after they're completed. And so, like, it's all these years later, and he's so old. And now he can finally talk about it, but now he's so old that, like, his family think they know everything. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah. That would be an interesting conversation too. It's like, you are a vacuum salesman. Now you're going to try to tell me that you were in the CIA.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Yeah, his whole family thought he was doing something completely different. Turns out no one knew.
All right, Hannah, one last question, and that question is, who are you looking for? Who would you like to have conversations with?
I work a lot in the senior community, so senior living spaces, senior communities, senior homes, just anyone that has a story to tell, anyone that has a life well lived, that's ready to talk. And I'm lucky, I can travel. I can do it like this via Zoom. Most of the time I do it in person though. I've worked with lawyers and attorneys, estate attorneys a lot. I'm not ready to work with kids because I am moving in that direction, and I definitely will be doing that within the next 2 to 3 years. But I will need a very, very good lawyer when the time comes. I already know. So eventually, I would like to work with children's hospitals. I actually spoke to a gentleman who's a minister, and he worked with young kids. So anyone, a lot of people are very sick. A lot of people are terminal, but not everybody. I spoke to someone who is 83. And so just someone that has a good story, someone that has a message to leave for their family or has something to say, something that's important. You never really know where a story is going to come from. I know that a vast majority of the people I work with tend to be lawyers, and they tend to, work within senior living and community.
Look, here's the truth, folks. And there's no denying this. My grandfather had 6 months to live for 5 years. Okay? He had 6 months to live for over 5 years. And then he finally passed away. I've also known people who were healthier than a horse who died the next day. You never know when it's going to go. Don't take these, don't take these stories with you. No. Don't wait until you're sick. Tell these stories to your family.
Yes.
Hire people, hire Hannah, tell your story, and leave it with not just your current family, but your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Imagine if they got to hear it from you instead of just hearing it as it passes. Because if anybody knows, when you pass down a story, it changes so often that, it's a completely different story. Imagine having the ability to take and tell your story to generations. We have that access now. We have somebody who thought of this wonderful idea to do this. And Legacy Lens USA is now also a community pay it forward giving partner, which means when you hire Hannah to do this, she's going to give us a referral. And with that referral, we make a donation to the mission partner of your choice. So you get to give help and support and hope to somebody by simply being able to tell your story later. I think that's pretty damn cool. So, Hannah, how do people get a hold of you?
You can go online. You can go to my website, which is www.legacylensusa.com. You can call me. I have all of my information listed directly on my website. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, any way you can reach me. I try to be as available as possible. You can send me an email, which is legacylens99@gmail. And I'm here to learn as much as I can. So please Even if you're not sure, even if you don't know if you want to or not, what's the harm in asking, right?
Yep, that's right. And if you want to get a hold of her, up in that corner, right above her head, just scan that. Yeah, there you go. Just scan that QR code. It's going to take you to her landing page where you get to all of her information's there. It's all clickable. All you have to do is say, you know what, I want to call Hannah. Her phone number's there, her email address, and her website are all there. Or if you would like to, no, I don't know, say, hey, Zach, could you introduce me to Hannah? I'm pretty good at doing that. So, but reach out to us. Hey, Hannah, thank you so very much for coming in and telling us your story. Your story is wonderful, and your program is wonderful, and I am thrilled that you decided to join us in our mission to help everyone. You've become a part of our program to make people's hearts tell a story by the donations they give. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm incredibly lucky and grateful to be here.
All right. Hey, everybody. Again, scan the QR code, visit Hannah, talk to her, find out more. If you just want to learn more about her, go on to her landing page, get a hold of her just for a conversation. You never know where a conversation's going to lead, except for this. It's going to lead to a good place. So, Hannah, thank you so very much, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Today we get to welcome a leader who doesn't just build systems, he builds momentum, clarity, and confidence. Please help me celebrate Jordan Templeton Harris, founder and president of Fitzgerald Built, as the newest member of our community Pay It Forward giving family. He doesn't operate as a vendor, he operates as a force multiplier, a strategic partner who helps leaders. Whether an organization is growing, transforming, or trying to get unstuck, Jordan brings the operational intelligence and accountability that turn ideas into measurable outcomes. And now, he's chosen to stand with us, to make sure no one has to face a difficult moment alone. That's what makes this partnership special. That's what makes Jordan family. Please visit his profile, share his badge, and help us welcome him the way only this community can. Welcome to the family, Jordan. We're honored to walk this mission with you.
Welcome to August. Welcome to Celebration of the Spirit. Up in the corner, you're going to see a QR code. That is my card, my business card. Please, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, simply scan that QR code. It takes you to my card, and you can get a hold of me. Please remember the rules of Celebration of Spirit, and it's very simple. Don't get mad, educate. Our purpose is to let you know what's going on in a month. We want to take and educate people about what other people are celebrating. That way, we all know. There's no reason for any of us not to be able to celebrate what we love. So, welcome to everyone. Today we got to do one of my favorite things. We get to celebrate people, their traditions, their faith, their cultures, their joy. Every sunrise gives us a chance to learn something new about each other. That's really a wonderful thing about coming together. That's how we grow stronger together. So do me a favor, grab your coffee. Ugh. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. You probably like coffee. I'm just going to grab my Diet Pepsi, all right? If you don't mind. But bring your curiosity and let's jump into today's celebrations and see what the world is smiling about in August for the Celebration of Spirit. August is doing that fun thing that August does, and it brings us into the heart of late summer. It's a month filled with cultural traditions, religious observances, national celebrations, and moments of reflection. Today we honor the community by learning what they celebrate and why it truly matters. Once again, we're probably not going to get everything, okay? With the growth of holidays popping up, we can't always keep up with them. So don't get mad, educate. Tell us what you celebrate, tell us when it is, tell us what it's about, how you celebrate. Join us. If you want, hit up my card, come and join us, and you can come on air with us and tell us about it before the month is up. So on August 1st, we have Lammas. It's a Christian tradition. Lammas marks the first wheat harvest. Many Christian communities bake bread from the first grain and place it on the altar as a symbol of gratitude and blessing. It's a moment to recognize the gifts of the earth and the work of human hands. At that type of celebration has been around for so long. Solstice is yeah, well, I mean, it's really one of the reasons why solstice has always been so important was because of where the celebrations were in the world cycle. So this, getting closer to wintertime, gardens are starting to produce and stuff. So, yeah, that's llamas. Also on August 1st, we have one from, and all my friends here on Things Network. It's a Wiccan tradition. It's called Lunusa. Lunusa. Lunusa celebrates the first grain harvest. Here we go. Some Wiccans bake a symbolic figure in bread and share it as part of a ritual of renewal and gratitude. It is a celebration of abundance and the turning of the season. On August 1st through August 14th, we have Dormition, the Dormition fast, which is Eastern Orthodox Christian tradition. This 14-day fast prepares for the feast of the Dormition of the Virgin Mary. Observers abstain from meat, dairy, fish, oil, and wine. It's a time of reflection, prayer, and spiritual discipline. I would love to know what you're allowed to eat. It looks like you're able to still eat grains, and it's basically a vegan diet is what you're allowed to eat, it looks like. If I'm wrong on that, please let me know. Tell me in the comments, get a hold of me. But it looks like you can eat it's 14 days of a vegan diet. And again, please, if I get this wrong, don't get mad. Educate, please. So August 1st is also Emancipation Day for the Caribbean nations and Canada. Those are two places that you don't usually hear celebrating together. So Emancipation Day, Caribbean nations, and Canada. Communities honor the abolition of slavery with the remembrance ceremonies, cultural performances, and gatherings that celebrate resilience and freedom. It's a day of reflection and unity. After finding out what it is, I kind of wish that there were more people who were celebrating that. So Emancipation Day, once again, communities honor the abolition of slavery. August 1st is also Swiss National Day. Nico Heischer. Families and communities celebrate with fireworks, parades, traditional music, and shared meals. It's a day of national pride and cultural heritage. By the way, all of you who don't know it, on Red Fridays when I do my stuff, by the way, you can kind of tell when I'm recording this. Usually when I wear my what I wear on Red Fridays, my Devils jersey, it's a Nico Heischer jersey. So August 2nd, National Sisters Day and Friendship Day. This day celebrates the bonds between sisters and the friendships that shape our lives. People spend time together, share meals, and express appreciation for the relationships that support them. So those are all the ones that are in the past, with the exception of the um, 14-day celebration. So those are all now. Unfortunately, we've missed those, but now we know for next year what we need to celebrate, be prepared for. On August 6th, we have Transfiguration of the Lord. It's a Christian and Eastern Orthodox tradition. August 6th, the feast commemorates the moment Jesus became radiant on Mount Tabor, or Tabor, sorry. Grapes are traditionally blessed in a church as a symbol of transformation and divine light. I don't quite understand that, but I'm just asking, and anybody please answer this. Uh, the transformation, is that what has to do with the wine? I really wonder about that. So uh, this feast commemorates the moment Jesus became radiant on Mount Tabor. Grapes are traditionally blessed in a church as a symbol of transformation and the divine light. And divine light. Okay. So August 6th, our friends in Jamaica celebrate Independence Day. Communities celebrate with parades, music, dancing, and vibrant displays of national pride. It's a joyful celebration and a culture of freedom. Yeah. Kind of doesn't mention something else that's probably pretty prevalent on that day. Bob Marley music. What do you think I was thinking? Also on August 6th, we have Bolivia Independence Day. It's also marked with parades, cultural performances, and national ceremonies. This day honors Bolivia's history and identity. Coming up on August 9th, International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. This is a global observance that honors indigenous cultures, rights, and contributions. Communities host educational events, storytelling, and cultural showcase that highlights the richness of indigenous heritage. If anybody out there is going to be celebrating this, either live or on a camera on Zoom, please send me a link. I'd love to go and check some of that out. That really sounds cool to me. So, once again, International Day of the World's Indigenous People. That is on the 9th. On August 11th, we have Mountain Day in Japan. Families and communities take time to appreciate mountains and spend time in nature. Many people hike, picnic, or visit scenic mountain areas to honor the beauty of the natural world. That sounds cool to me. I love the mountains. That's one of the reasons why I love Colorado. So, once again, that's on August 9th, Mountain Day in Japan. On August 12th, we have International Youth Day. Get off my lawn! No, stay on my lawn. It's okay. A United Nations observance that highlights youth empowerment and the issues affecting young people around the world. It's a day to uplift the voices of the next generation. I love this day, and maybe next year we should do something for this. August 12th, International Youth Day. Once again, a United Nations observance that highlights youth empowerment and the issues affecting young people around the world. It's a day to uplift the voices of the next generation. I love that. That sounds awesome. August 13th, all of our Southpaws unite. It is National Left-Handers Day, a fun awareness day celebrating left-handed people and recognizing the challenges they face in a world designated for right-handed use. It's a light-hearted moment of inclusion. As a right-handed person, you never really think about how difficult it is for left-handed people on certain things, do you? Not until something is made for a left-handed person and then a right-handed person has to go and try to do it, then you realize how goofy it is. So let's take it on August 13th. Let's remember all of our lefties out there and you know, see what we can do to make their world a little bit easier. On August 13th through 15th, our Buddhist and Shinto people celebrate Obon. It's a Japanese Buddhist festival honoring ancestors. Families return home. They clean graves, light lanterns, and perform traditional dances. It's a time of remembrance and connection. So it's kind of like a family memorial day, it looks like. You know, our Memorial Day has to do with veterans, but this really seems like it says it right there, honors ancestors. How come we don't do anything like that? In my family, doing that is Memorial Day because we have such a high veteran numbers. But you know, when my dad passes, that's going to kind of change a little bit because we don't have many of the younger people in our family that have served. So August 15th is Assumption of Mary, which is a Christian tradition. This feast celebrates the belief that Mary was taken into heaven. Communities gather for church services, processions, and shared meals. It's a moment of reverence and devotion. So that's August 15th, the Assumption of Mary. Also on August 15th, we have India's Independence Day. Usually celebrated with flag raisings, cultural performances, and expressions of national pride. It's a day of unity and celebration across India and around the world. Boy, there are a lot of Independence Days in August, because on August 17th, it's Indonesia Independence Day, celebrated with parades, games, flag ceremonies, and cultural festivals. It's a lively celebration of national identity. So that's like our fourth Independence Day for different countries. August 19th is World Humanitarian Day. What a great day. This day honors humanitarian workers and promotes global compassion. Thank God. This should be every day. Organizations host awareness events and service activities that highlight the importance of helping others. Okay, I'm going to repeat this one more time, and I want you to think about this. If you know anybody who's doing something on August 19th or any day around there, please shout them out in the comments. Make sure that we share what they're doing. If you or your church or your mosque or your temple or whatever are celebrating any of these days, and it's open to other people, tag yourself, tag that church in the comments. Let people know where these celebrations are going on so we can come and join you and check it out. But once again, if you know anybody on August 19th that's helping to celebrate World Humanitarian Day, please put it in the comments so we can take and, maybe some of us can show up and help you celebrate. This day honors humanitarian workers and promotes global compassion. Organizations host awareness events and service activities that highlight the importance of helping others, because it is very important that we help others. August 21st is a very, very heavy day. I have never, ever, ever heard of this day. But this is definitely a day that, with everything that's going on, I think this is a day that maybe we need to look into celebrating. August 21st is International Day of Remembrance for Victims of Terrorism. It's a solemn observance honoring victims and survivors of terrorism worldwide. That's a tough one, but very important. We need to do this. We all know what's coming up next month on the 11th. So, why not get a head start on it? It's a moment of reflection and support. August 22nd is International Day of Commemorating Victims of Violence. This is an important one because there is a lot of stupid stuff that happens because of this stuff. August 22nd is an International Day commemorating victims of violence based on religion or belief. I will definitely be celebrating this one. This is a global observance that promotes religious freedom and honors those harmed for their beliefs. It's a call for understanding and peace. That is exactly why I started this show. International Day of Commemorating Victims of Violence Based on Religion or Belief. August 26th is Women's Equality Day. I think women deserve more than equality. I think women deserve more respect. They do things that us as guys, we couldn't do. If we had the capability, we couldn't do it. Guys, let's be honest here, all right? I broke my ankle. It wasn't a big thing. I more than broke my ankle. I detached my ankle from my leg. wasn't a big thing. I catch a cold, I am the biggest baby in the world. Seriously. August 26th, Women's Equality Day. This is in the United States. This day commemorates the passage of the 19th Amendment and celebrates ongoing efforts toward gender equality. It's a reminder of progress and the work that's still ahead. And I think the second part of that is so very important. And there is no excuse. There is no excuse why this is still an issue. Qualified women should never lose out to unqualified anyone. Nobody should ever be chosen because of their creed, sex, religion. There's a lot of really, really good celebrations, as you can tell, coming up in August. So do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe below. And then think about what we just talked about here. I'm going to tag all of these in the description. I want you, if you celebrate any of these, share pictures, share information about where you're celebrating so maybe somebody can come and join you. I know that's a little scary right now. But let's try to tell people, hey, this is what I celebrate and this is why. All my Wiccan friends out there, I definitely want to hear from you. Granted, that happened 2 days ago, but still, how did you celebrate? What did you do? Did you bake the bread? I'm going to have to ask my wife if she's going to bake bread on the 1st. And yes, again, I'm recording this. That's why I don't know if she baked bread yet or not. I guess I could tell you on Tuesday. Late summer and early harvest is coming up. So a lot of these celebrations are around that. It's one of the reasons why we've been celebrating things for the entire existence of humanity. Harvest has always been one of the most important celebrations. August marks the height of the summer and the beginning of the harvest season in many cultures. Communities celebrate with outdoor festivals, farmers markets, seasonal foods, and gatherings that honor the earth's abundance. It's a time of warmth or downright just hot right now, gratitude and connection. Look, folks, as we wrap up today's journey, remember this. Every celebration we share builds us one step closer to each other. Every story opens a door. Every tradition builds a bridge. It's up to you to walk across that bridge and meet someone where they are. We heard Hannah talk about that earlier. So it really doesn't matter what someone else celebrates. It shouldn't matter to you what someone else celebrates. You know why? It's not you. Be interested in what they celebrate. Learn about what they celebrate. Don't bash it. If you feel like you got to bash it, as our parents used to say, if you don't have nothing nice to say, shut up. Live and let live, folks. Let's let people celebrate. Let's let people do what makes them whole. You do what makes you whole. And hopefully, nobody's going to bug you about that. I want to thank you for being part of this mission of understanding and connection. And I'd like to invite you when we do this again in September for the celebration of spirit. I want to thank my dear friend and our brand new partner, Hannah, Legacy Lens USA. Wonderful conversation we had earlier. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love your program. I love everything about it. And I do think it's funny how these two things kind of really mixed in very well together. It was a beautiful, beautiful mix match of the two things. I love the celebration of the spirit. This is one of my favorite things in the world to do. Hey, it's time that everybody starts thinking about miracle of the season. Do you have a favorite holiday recipe, no matter what your winter holiday is? Do you have a favorite Hanukkah recipe that you cook every year? Do you have a favorite Christmas meal? Cook it for us. Record it. Share it with others. Show us your cooking skills. Send it to us, and we're going to play it on December 25th as we celebrate the miracle of the season. Do you have a favorite holiday story, one that you loved as a kid, or maybe one that you used to read to your kids? Read it for others to share. Because there may be other kids who have never heard that story, and they could like it as much as you did. It's time to share. The holidays are coming. There's many, many holidays to celebrate. There's many religions, there's many beliefs, and there's many celebrations, but there's only one people. Again, live and let live. And until next time, let's celebrate our spirit. Let's celebrate other spirit. Let's get along. We've only got one life. Let's live it and let's have fun. Let's let others live their lives. Let's learn from each other. It's an easy thing to do. It's a fun thing to do. My name is Zach Clayton. I want to thank you guys very much for joining me this morning for Footprints Forward. I want to thank Hannah of Legacy Lens USA. Wonderful interview. Brand new partner. Love her to death. She's one of the best programs that I've ever heard of. I think it's so smart what she's doing. Just ingenious. And I want to thank you for joining us today. Please use my card. Get a hold of me. If I did not mention your celebration, don't get mad. Educate. Tell us about it. We don't leave anything out on purpose. But until next time, please make sure you love someone out there, folks, because someone out here loves you. And as always, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one ever needs to go it alone when we all come together. My name is Zach Clayton, and you've been watching Footprints Forward. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next month. So I hope that you caught this morning's episode of What You Got, because we talked about a great man and a great friend of mine, Mr. Z.
Hello, world. My name is Z. or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has Z potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for.
Warning, the brown cloud is approaching. Some will try to outrun it. Others may not be so lucky. But don't worry, it's all part of the fun at the Chili Cookoff for books and board games. Where the chili is hot, the flavors are bold. And Bear E has your back with the official Brown Cloud Preparedness Kit. Follow the plan. Know your exits, and whatever you do, hold your breath, because this temporary pain is all for a great cause. Join us, laugh with us, survive the brown cloud, together at Key Largo Lounge in Greeley.
Join us November 8th at 11 a.m. for the 10th annual Chili Cookoff for books and board games at our home field, Key Largo Lounge, where our small market team is making a huge statement. Scan the code for tickets and sponsorship information.
Every day, someone in our community is facing a challenge they shouldn't have to face alone. Your business community is facing a challenge they shouldn't have to face alone. Your business can change that. When you join the Community Pay It Forward family, your kindness becomes action, and your sales becomes hope. For as little as $20 a month, you help guide families, nonprofits, and neighbors from crisis to stability. One small step, one powerful mission, one community coming together. Join the family today. Visit the website or scan the code and become a business where...
So one other thing about Mr. Z that I really want to make you guys aware of, be on the lookout here in the next couple weeks. You're going to see a drastic change to the homepage of Community Pay It Forward, in which it's going to make finding a partner easier than it's ever been. It so far, what we've heard, it's making it easier to understand the program. And if you would like to be a beta tester, please reach out to us by putting a comment in the chat. I would love to have you test out the homepage and help us make sure it's exactly what you need to be the community partner we hope you will become. And as we wrap up today's Footprints Forward, I want to take a moment to breathe in everything that we talked about today. We shared a reminder that the community is built on one act of kindness at a time. And when you join a partnership, once again, for $20 a month, you help us keep the Come Together Compass, the Community Pay It Forward program, everything. You help us keep that running. Okay, we give away 70% of every referral that comes into us. 7 out of every $10 goes to someone else. It's not because I hate money, and it's definitely not because I'm independently wealthy. It's because we want your purchase to make a powerful statement. And look, here's the other thing when I say this. I have companies come to me all the time and they say, hey, you know what? How about we do this? I give you $100 and maybe you give away, $25. I've never said yes. I had one guy who offered me up to $3,000. Why don't you just give away 100 of it? And no. if you make a purchase with our partners and they gave me $3,000, I'm giving away 70% of $3,000. That's it. That is it. That's it's done. If it's a diamond partner, they get 90% of that. So imagine the power you have when you make a purchase. We talked about the Chili Cookoff, a day of laughter, food, and connection, a day where strangers become friends and friends become family, and a brown cloud hovers over our good friends at Key Largo. By the way, Key Largo has karaoke every Wednesday and Friday nights. So if you like to be the rock star you think you are, the country star you think you are, potentially you are, go to Key Largo Lounge here in Greeley every Wednesday and Friday night. Then we are proud of the interview that I did with Hannah of Legacy Lens. Her work is powerful. She reminded us that everyone has a story, everyone deserves to be heard. And as she said, everyone deserves to be heard, and I'm honored when I get to hear those stories. Look, hearing stories, that's one of the reasons why I love what we do. Those stories, everyone's story has something interesting in it. If you look for it, it's not just a wonderful story to you. It could be a story that really changes someone's life. Listen to these stories. She showed us that memories matter, stories matter, and the sound of a loved one's voice matters. Preserving those moments is not just a service, it's a gift. After that, we stepped into celebrations of the spirit. We learned about traditions from all around the world. We learned about harvest festivals, Independence Days, a lot of them this month. Youth empowerment, remembrance, and compassion. We learned that August is filled with warmth, gratitude, food, and connection. Every celebration builds us one step closer to each other. There's a lot of things that we need to take and really look at and remember during this, like the survivors of terrorism. That I knew nothing about that holiday until I did this show. We remind ourselves to live and let live today. To let people celebrate what makes them whole. To meet people where they are. To walk across a bridge that someone else has built. The way someone else celebrates has no effect on your life whatsoever. So let them celebrate. As hopefully they let you celebrate. If we did not touch on your story, please don't get mad. Educate. Use the QR code. Use my card. Come and talk to me. Let's make sure that we talk about it. You can even, if you can get on the show before August ends, we can talk about your celebration. And again, if you are celebrating something, please put it in the chat. That way everyone can celebrate along with you. And as always, I want to leave you with this. Please make sure you love someone out there because someone out here loves you. And remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Folks, life is long. And the road to happiness, there's a lot of bumps in it. Telling your story can help people navigate those bumps, navigate those potholes, and make that happiness even easier. The only way to do this is to make sure that we all come together. Because no one has to go it alone when we all come together. My name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, the Come Together Compass, Pack Podcasting Networks. saying thank you for joining me for Footprints Forward. We'll see you next month for Celebration of Spirit, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Footprints Forward. Until now, please remember that no matter how softly you walk, you'll always leave footprints. No one leaves this world without leaving their footprint on someone's heart. Love you. Bye.
Hey friends, I've been thinking, we all have our strengths, right? There are things I'm great at and things I'm definitely not great at. I can talk to anyone, anywhere, but ask me to add something to a website or an app. Yeah, that's where things get a little messy. Oops, I love speaking, I love sharing stories. But social media, all those hashtags, algorithms, trends, that's a jungle I still haven't mapped out. Now, coming up with ideas that bring people together, that's my sweet spot. But bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I have agreed to stay in separate corners. And you know what? That's okay, because someone out there is good at those things. And when we work together, that's when the magic happens. Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every single one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us strong on our own, but imagine how powerful we become when we combine them. That's the heart of Community Pay It Forward. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working side by side to make a real difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's discover it together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.